18 minutes past 7 o'clock. We're still smarting by that Stats SA announcement that the unemployment rate increasing from 32.9% in quarter one to 33.5% in quarter two in South Africa. Here in the Western Cape, we have an unemployment rate of 22%. The broad definition, around about 27%. But also announced last week that the majority of the job losses in South Africa have come from the Western Cape. 65,000 jobs shed in the first quarter. Alan Winde, Premier of the Western Cape, really appreciate your time. Despite what is a shocking number, 65,000 jobs, we still benefit from the lowest unemployment rate in South Africa. The narrow definition, about 22, broader 27. But you must be worried about 65,000 jobs shed in the first quarter. Alan, good morning.
Morning, Lester. Yes, of course. Any time that the numbers go in the wrong direction, I get very concerned. A big chunk of those 65,000 were in agriculture, 38,000. And overall, year on year, we're 1.4% down. So a year ago, we were at 2.711 million people had a job in the province, and now we're 2.675 million people have a job. I think, obviously, when you measure quarter on quarter, you do see jobs going up and down because we've got quite a seasonal economy, especially driven by tourism and driven by agriculture, those two sectors. But, I am distressed, 1.4% down. We do have an overall job strategy. I think probably uncertainty leading towards our elections, probably also a bit of a driver over and above the seasonality. And I hope that we see much more investment now coming into the region. And, I really want to get it below 20%. We've got the stubborn sitting above 20%, well, we're 22.2 now. And we need to try and get that below 20. And that comes through investment, through entrepreneurs growing businesses. And so we'll get the jobs numbers down. Of course, also, a lot of people come here to look for a job. So it keeps on pushing those numbers up. But that's fine. People that come here generally are risk takers. And we want them to get involved in creating businesses and, getting involved in taking jobs. And, whatever jobs are available, come and grab that job. So that we can get this number down. But you're right. I get concerned at that number.
I must remind you, Alan, that the Western Cape government in the run-up to the 2024 elections was quite buoyant with Western Cape job figures, using that as a marker of a better run province compared to other provinces. But would it not be a problem to peg a Western Cape job growth rate on the factor of seasonality, knowing that in whether it be tourism, whether it be agriculture, those jobs come and go depending on when there's a demand, when it's in season, and when we're in a ebb in our cycle here in this Western Cape?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why, obviously quarter on quarter, you can see that job reduction. I then quickly go to the year on year because we've got to see, are we doing it over a period of time, because seasonality is an issue. And there I am also concerned. We're 1.4% down. So we shouldn't be going down. We should be going up. And so it does concern me. I mean, we're just over a year into our Growth for Jobs strategy. And I sincerely hope that we start to get better traction on it. We've got to deal with the big blockages in the economy. I think everybody's very well aware of the blockage of the port, getting our product to market, the blockage of our rail system, getting people to jobs and to the economy. That's also a blockage. And then, what are the other drivers of inflation, drivers of costs going up? And what about business confidence? Have we got business confidence growing? Because it's business confidence that attracts people to invest and to grow their businesses and keep their money in South Africa rather than investing in other markets in other parts of the world. So you've got to make sure you get all of those things right. What are those blockages? Energy, for example, and I've just mentioned the port. Those are big drivers. And in the future, the next one is going to be water. Water availability is going to be something into the future. And so we're busy focusing on those areas to make sure we mitigate that risk as much as possible, and then you will attract the investment.
At your weekend statement, you said that you've urged corporates to invest in more Western Cape youth. Besides the BPO industry, the call center industry that has quite blossomed here in the Western Cape, also KZN, also developing that industry. Besides the BPO industry, where you're hoping to see a growth in corporate investment in industry and then also jobs?
So that was part of a project that started here in Western Cape, and I'm very excited to see that it's now gone to the Eastern Cape as well. It's our Year Beyond program. We've been running it for a few years now. Nearly 13,000 young people have gone through this program, and it really is neat. The not in employment or educational training, those young people who get a matric and then are stuck because they can't find a job and they can't find a space in the training environment. And so what we've put is this program together, which helps them, just develop a bit of a work ethic in a department or in one of our libraries or somewhere in one of our government spaces. But we're encouraging more and more businesses to partner with us so that we put a young person in a business. And when they partner with us, we can lift those numbers. We've got 3,000 young people this year into these programs. And as you said, the BPO guys really doing amazing work on bringing young people in. As I said, 500 now starting the Year Beyond program. We call them Yeboners. 500 in the Eastern Cape, which is also great news, them adopting this program as well. And we call on businesses to join us in bringing young people into your company. We're seeing innovation come through bringing young people in. When we were designing and looking for energy solutions, we suddenly saw some energy trading platform being developed in the George municipality. And when we engaged with him, it was an intern who was designing the program. And so how do you get more and more young people into your business? Because they come with new ideas. They find it quite natural to do some coding and develop an app that perhaps can help your business. And so that was part of the statement over the weekend and the program in which we engage with businesses to say, let's work together on this to give young people the opportunity. Our country's got the highest youth unemployment rate in the world, and that doesn't make for good business sense, because that's a risk into the future. So let's join hands and make sure we find opportunities for young people.
Premier Alan Winde, really appreciate your time, Premier of the Western Cape.